Okay, last few classes, two classes, we already started the electric traction. So, what is mean by electric traction? Mainly, it is in a kind of mass electric vehicle. So, where we don't need to have any battery storage, but we have to provide the electrical energy lively. So, we have seen what are all the infrastructure needed. So, suppose what are all the development of railways, how they have changed from steam engine to uh, gasoline engine traction, diesel engine traction. Now, what are all the way they have converted to electric traction? What are all the challenges? Earlier, they have a DC traction. Now, they converted AC traction. So, country like India having some point before, some 2 decades before, the both type of tractions there. So I have to provide in all the electric that is traction. So especially electric train, I have to provide both the traction facilities, the AC and DC traction, because some area may be provided with the DC traction and another area may be provided with the AC tractions. Now it is completely converted. Still, some of the regions are not electrified, so that is under the process. So automatically, when we go for the electric traction, a lot of advantages are there compared to the size of the steam engine or any diesel engine. We can need only a smaller size in engine, and also high power capability, efficiency of the particular engine also very good. In addition to that, it is clean. It is not polluting any environment, and additional infrastructure needs. That is a very big drawback of any electric traction, because we know that in AC system, so we need a 25 kilovolt AC system is needed. So with the 50 hertz, so automatically there is a need of interconnected electrical system. So through that interconnected electrical system, we have to provide electric line, overheated transmission line, so to tap the energy through the pantofers. So mainly these type of infrastructures need a huge investment, because throughout the railway track, we have to provide the particular traction. So there also we are having a simple containary type of cables where we are having a supporting, and another one is dropper. Below that we are having a live line where the engine is going to tap the energy. So these are all the some arrangement is there. So we are going to see what are all the current collectors. So especially, so through that overhead lines only, our train engine is going to collect the current. Okay, so maybe the overhead, it is maybe a three type of current collectors is there. And if you see the other country system, they are simply varying. They have gone for 15 kV, 20 kV, 25 kV, 60 hertz systems also is existing. Okay, so once again, this also a kind of electrical vehicle. Why we are studying this electrical traction also is means it is also a kind of electrical vehicle, but compared to the cars and luxury cars and e-bus and the trucks and etc., here we need not to carry whatever may be energy storage system. Okay, so because it need a very huge amount of power that can be tapped from the overhead transmission line. So that is the principle. Yeah, this is a place at where we stopped earlier. So last week. So this is a system of track of electrification. So that is a two different constructions there. One is a single catenary construction where a catenary wire will be there. So it will have it will maintain the strength, or it will give the support to the contact wire through the droppers. So you can able to see the railroad. If you see that a catenary wire is connected in a support, so to the droppers. And another one is a compound catenary construction. Whenever more power has to be delivered. Say, for example, if a train speed ranges between 190 to 224 kilometer per hour, so that type of situation we have to deliver more amount of power to the engine. So for that, a compound catenary construction is there. Mainly, if you see uh, all the lines, only urban trains and all, we have the single catenary construction, whereas state to state, okay, national important trains, express, which is moved from one state to another state. so which is moved from state capital to country capital like that. Those track will have a compound catenary construction, because usually the range of speed will be more, 190 to 224 kilometer per hour. Of course, in India, so maximum speed is limited to maybe 160 kilometer for expresses and 180 kilometer for Rajdhani and other expresses they are having. So automatic. So automatically it is having a different structure where catenary wire is the same, but whereas a dropper wire will not be straight away connected to the another end will not be connected to the contact wire. Instead of that, it is making a loop-like arrangement. That loop-like arrangement. Okay, so there is a loop wires will be there. So dropper wires will not directly connected to the contact wire. It will make a loop-like arrangement. So that will make a dropper below the particular loop. There will be loop wires will be there. In that only our contact wire will be provided. So in that case, automatically. So dropper wire will be there. So automatically that will make more capacity also. This is the way we have to distinguish the single catenary construction and compound catenary construction. So of course, in a single catenary construction in a real time, that is in a 2D view, it will be like that only. If you see that, so at a frequent interval, there will be a support. Okay, post like support will be there. So through the insulators. Okay, so through the insulators, okay, it will carry or the catenary wire. So below that there will be dropper wires will be there. So dropper wires are having connected to the contact wires. If you see that between the post, so there will be a catenary wire. Below that dropper wire will carry the particular contact wires. Okay, so above that you can see that so return wires always will be connected. If you see that return wire here, it is connected to the rail line. Okay, railway track. One of the railway track. Okay, because always whenever we are utilizing electrical energy, utilization of electrical energy only possible in a closed loop operation. So we are getting a power after used in the engine and motor, that has to be returned back. Okay, so return wire. So that has to be also passed through the railway only. But if it is properly written, will be properly earthed, and there won't be any electrical harmness. And whenever you are touching and exposed to that, it will not happen because it is properly connected to earth, proper earthing with a low resistance arrangement. Automatically, you know that current will be always prefer a low resistance path. So as a human being, we are all having very high resistance compared to the earth resistance. So whenever you're exposed to that also will not be getting any shocking. So such a foolproof system will be there, which will be always considered in a zero potential. Okay, so zero potential will be there. So through that, a return wire will collect all the return current and properly it will be here. So there won't be any problem. This is how the single catenary construction will be looks like. So here, in order to see what are the types of current collector, I already told that three type of current collector will be there. So one is a trolley collector and bow collector and a pantograph collector. You want to see those collectors. Okay. So this is what a trolley type collector. So mainly these collectors are used in tramways and trolley buses. If you see in Calcutta and other places, okay, so in foreign countries also on the roadside there will be tramways which will not be having a need of much high speed, but need a frequent stopping. It will like a town bus arrangement, but it is by means of a train. Okay, so on the road itself, that particular tramway and trolley buses will be there. So they need only a simple type of this collector. This is called trolley collector. So it is helped in contact with the wire and spring. Okay, so the particular spring arrangement will be provided in order to have always having a live contact with the wires. the collector has to be touched with the wires. So usually it is suitable for the low speed engines, maybe up to some 30, 40 kilometer per hour only, it is applicable. Whereas a bow collector, this is what bow collector. If you see that in the contact wire, so if you see that this is a bow arrangement, okay, this is a bow arrangement. So this is the engine car roof. Okay, so whatever may be the position, okay, whatever may be the contact wire and etc., that has to be sliding, can be slide over here with some pressure, always will be there in order to maintain the always contact. Okay, it uses the metal light strip. Okay, for collection about the 1 meter long. This is the length will be the particular bowl length will be 1 meter long. So it is not suitable for railway work requiring speed more than 120 or more than 120 kilometer per hour means up to that it is capable of collecting the current. So it need a requiring reversing arrangement for bow whenever we reverse that. Okay, so this is what mainly when in long range running and state to state and other things, high speed Rajdhani express vehicle and all. If you see that, this is called pantograph collector. Okay, this is called pantograph collector. So if you see that the particular type of pressure, if you see that here in this mechanical arrangement, it will be always giving a pressure on the particular live wire, which will having two different kind of bowl-like arrangement. Okay, bowl-like arrangement. So that will facilitate. Okay, always it is having contactor, and there is no need of any recurring reverse arrangement. Okay, so main function is to maintain the link between overhead contact wire and the power circuit of the locomotive at various speed. So when at more than 180 kilometer per hour speed, whenever it is moving, also it has to be always sliding over the contact live wires. Okay, so there is a need of some pressure from this end also. Already that particular line will be having always straight line. Okay, so above the overhead, above the railway track. So automatically, if you see that here is some two spring arrangement is there. Two spring arrangement is there. So that spring, okay, so it will be connected to this bending like this arrangement. So always it is giving some mechanical pressure, okay, on that. Even at a very high speed, it will ensure that the contact is not missed. Always having a live contact, it will always touch the particular live wire. The collectors are always touching the live wire. So this can be lowered or raised from cabin with the help of controlling. So whenever we don't want ideal stopping and all, what they will do is, so they will have an arrangement by which it can be removed, it can be lowered. So when it's lowered, what will happen automatically? It is electrically isolated. So my system is electrically isolated. Whereas in bowl-like arrangement, there is no any provision. So here I can able to make it. So whenever you see any in railway station at the end point, whenever it is going to shed and all, so there they will lower this. Lower this means automatically it will be disconnected. Okay, it will be disconnected. So likewise, it can give certain pressure whenever it is move upward direction. It will give some pressure on the particular transmission line. So that will facilitate the pantograph collector. Even at a very high speed, it can able to keep on having contact. Okay, so that is the reason why so very often this type of pantograph collector surface will be damaged. We have to replace the particular live wires. So they are gone for a lot of good materials, okay, which can withstand at least some 10 years, 12 years like that. Even after that, there will be a mechanical wear tear will happen, okay, because it is sliding over the particular transmission line. So a lot of engineering, okay, it is applicable here also, especially pantograph collector. So as far as the main thing is concerned, we already know that there is a two different traction is there. So for a DC traction, we have used DC motor. For AC traction, we can use single phase and three phase induction motor. Of course, now it is mainly used three phase induction motor only because we have converted majority of the tractions, that is traction system is the AC traction system. So what is a very big advantage is whenever I'm using a three phase induction motor, that too with PWM inverter and other arrangements, automatically I can able to control the starting torque, speed of the operation, starting current, in addition to that, there is a possibility of regenerative braking also is for automatic regeneration. The automatic regeneration means regenerative braking also is possible. So automatically the net efficiency. So for this complete efficiency of the AC traction system using a three-phase induction motor with the power modulators having a very high efficiency than any other traction systems, whether using single phase or whether we are using a DC traction system, it is having a very high advantages. Okay, so and another one is braking of traction-based trains. Here, the braking means here it is not a correct spelling. Okay, braking. This braking is different. This is what we have to break, but BRAK. Okay. See. Yes, so this type of and in three-phase induction motor, we are using generating system also. So up to this is a basic concept about traction system. Okay, so this is about a Clemshan. This is additional information. Say about Indian Railway. Okay, Indian Railway and all over the world also. So United States. Okay, in India, how much kilometer we are having? How much it is then electrified? Okay, so this is what some 5 years back it is the report. Now it is almost 80% is over. Earlier it was very less. Now almost 80% is over. So if you see the other glimpses, okay, so fourth largest network in the world with a 16 zone transporting over 10 billion passengers and over 1,050 million tons of goods freight annually it is happening. And Indian Railway employees are about 1.6 million people. Okay, 1.6 million people around that means 16 lakhs people. So making itself a second largest commercial or in the world in railway. So, with a view to reduce the dependence on the problem-based energy, Indian Railway has switched over to electrical traction. Okay, so mainly to avoid petroleum-based energy consumption, they have switched over to electrical traction because when we go for the electrical traction, there are other means of producing electricity also. We can engage nuclear power plants, we can engage renewable energy sources, we can engage some biomass-based plant also. But of course, their percentage of their percentage of contribution is very less, even though they are ready to go ahead with it because of there is a huge possibility of development that can happen in the particular one. And also, it is a pollution-free system, as we know. Electrical energy is whenever we are using it is completely pollution-free, will not leave any byproducts when it is utilized. And Indian Railways uses only 1.7 percentage of India's oil. This fact shows that how diesel traction is not very much motivated in India. Now it is still reduced also. So still reduced. Almost I told 85 percentage of existing all the traction is converted only in the hills and some remote area, single track area where the electrification is challenging one. So in those areas only still we are continuing the diesel traction. But whereas in all other places it is converted to a electric traction, especially using a AC traction system. Okay, so with this we have completed the basic concept about electric traction. Is there any clarification? Then we are going to move on to important topics, drivetrain. Drivetrain configuration in electric vehicle and hybrid electric vehicle. What is a drivetrain configuration? That power flow. Exclusively, we are going to see the power flow during the different modes of operation. So before going to that, I want to know, is there any clarification? Am I audible? Are you all listening? Are you all listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay, any clarification? No.
No, sir.
Okay, we'll move to the next topic. So next topic is power flow control. Especially, we know so different configurations that is used in electrical vehicle and hybrid electrical vehicle configuration. We know series configuration, parallel configuration, series parallel configuration, and all. So in that, power flow also very much important. Power flow control strategies are very much important because connecting the components in series and parallel or series parallel combination alone is not enough. We have to follow certain strategies. So that will regulate the power flow from one component to another component. So say for example, when we are in the need of reverse, that is power flow, that is regenerative braking. So whatever maybe my power consuming element now has to be acting as a power producing, power generating element, that is motor. So whenever I'm just disconnect the power supply, not disconnecting the power supply, I'm just to make stopping the power supply. So automatically my inverter has to be acting as a converter arrangement. So accordingly, my firing angle of the particular converter has to be changed. In addition to that, so that particular firing angle of the converter is in such a way that it can able to store the electrical energy in the battery. So these all are happening in a momentary one. Okay, this transition is happening very momentary. So then once again, whenever I'm just applying the accelerating power, the power flow has to be taken in the original previous direction. That means onward direction from energy sources to the motor immediately. So these power flow control, unless otherwise I follow, I am planning some strategy, I cannot able to. So that also we should know. So especially these type of control strategies with some certain goals. What is the certain goal? Is maximum fuel efficiency. When you go for a hybrid electrical vehicle efficient configurations, mainly low percentage of hybrid electrical vehicle configuration that is called mild MHEV, mild hybrid electrical vehicle configurations. So these and all mainly concentrating on maximum fuel efficiency, how to improve the fuel economy. So automatically, when I am planning a strategy in such a way that whenever vehicle at start, I have to use the particular motor at an ideal stoppages like signals and all. There, I have to stop the off the IC engine. I have to make ready the particular uh, electrical vehicle operated motor. Okay, which can be producing some 30 percentage of required power. So, like these things, whenever I have to engage this type of electrical system arrangement, even though it is called hybrid electrical system, electrical system arrangement, when I have to engage and etc., that I should know and I have to implement that strategy. So, mainly in case of a hybrid electrical vehicle. So, in a pure electrical vehicle, so there will be a different strategy will be followed. In hybrid electrical only, we are having a three different ways of connecting. Okay, it's a series hybrid, parallel hybrid, and combination of both series parallel. That is called series parallel configuration. So next one is the minimum efficient emission. So whatever may be the emission, CO2 emission from the particular internal combustion engine, that has to be minimized by means of incorporating this power flow strategy and minimum system cost. So okay, system cost also should be minimum and good driving performance. So that should not affect whenever we are implementing any power control strategy. That should not affect the driving performance of the particular vehicle. Driving performance of the vehicle. So it should be like as it is like whenever a complete internal combustion engine when they engaged that. So how good was the experience? That the same experience that has to be realized when they are used this type of power control strategies also. Okay, so these type of strategies that we are used in HCV having a different considerations, different consideration. So these are all the three important consideration. One is optimal internal combustion engine operating point. So what is the optimal operating point? Internal combustion engine. Based on that, we can have a maximum fuel economy that we have to identify. So the automatically when you are going for optimal operating point, so automatically what will happen at that point, I can able to get minimize the emission and maximize the fuel economy. So that is the optimal point. Optimal point is above which or below which will not ensure both the things. Above the optimal operating point and below the optimal operating point will not ensure both maximum fuel economy and as well as minimize emission. Okay, so exactly at this point only, I'll have a minimized emission and maximized the fuel economy. That is the one important consideration. And another one important consideration is optimal internal combustion engine operating line. So because we cannot able to assure that as like a railway traction and etc. So the vehicle we can go always at a or with a constant torque and constant current. So because whenever you are in the road transportation, so that is completely controlled. The way the strategies to be implemented is completely controlled by the existing traffic system. So what is the traffic that is, so whether it's a congested or free traffic, no vehicles, and also it depends on the road, whether state highway road, district highway, village road, and etc. Lot of things are deciding. So I need to know, considering optimizing operating line. So from one, so say for example, we know very well what is a pattern. We know very well what is a pattern. So driving pattern of any vehicle. So the vehicle is operated in urban area. What is a, so that will be fixed. That will be similar to all the vehicles. Okay. So likewise, rural area, national highways, state highways, district highways. So many way we can able to get the pattern, driving pattern of the vehicle. Based on that, we can able to identify a line of operating this internal combustion engine. So because I'm not going to different power demand. Simply, I say when we are going for a different road, different transportation, different region, it need a different power. So I have to identify correspondingly what is the optimal operating point. So that I have to connect and there I have to decide that as a optimal internal combustion engine operating line. And third important to the electrical side, that is safe battery voltage. So the battery voltage also may be significantly altered during discharging. We know that whenever the state of the charge of battery is about to fill, so in case of a lead acid battery, it may be 12.8 voltage. When it is completely about to 50 percentage, 50% discharge means it may reach 12.3 voltage. Completely discharge means 11.8 voltage. So we can very well we know that significantly it's altered during discharging. So based on the amount of charge discharged, okay, based on the amount of discharging, so battery level also significantly is coming down. This battery voltage should not exceed the maximum voltage, nor it should not fall below the minimum voltage. So this battery only supplying the inverter arrangement, which will give the energy to the motors. So if particular voltage is assured only, I can able to get assured voltage at the output of the inverter, which in turn is going to connect it to the motor, power propulsion unit. Okay, motor. Suppose instead of 12.5 or instead of 12.6 or 12.5 voltages, if it is 12 voltages, definitely the output voltage of the inverter also accordingly is varying. That means it is decreasing. That cannot give the assured performance in the motor of the particular electrical vehicle. So safe battery voltage I have to identify. So that is what we already know that. So up to 30 percentage we can allow discharge, which is nothing but 12 voltage, and at the state of charge is full, we can able to reach around, we can able to get around 12.8 voltage. So only up to this much only variations can be permitted. Below that, if it is goes there automatically, and that will not be good for the battery, and as well as we cannot able to produce the required specified voltage for the motor in the inverter output. So these three are important different consideration apart from the main advantages. So what is a advantages, or why we are going for power flow control, these 4 points. According to these are all the consideration also we are taken to the consideration when we are designing the power flow control strategies. So the first one is very commonly we are used. Okay, so that is series hybrid. Series hybrid conception. That means here I have taken. So if you see the 4 different mode I have taken. The first mode, normal driving acceleration mode. Second mode, when the high load is there, light load is there. Okay, so and another one is braking or deceleration. So whether I am decide to brake the vehicle, stop the vehicle, or to decelerate the speed of the vehicle, and it is exclusively mode 4 at vehicle at stop. So I have to design a control strategy in case of serious hybrid for all this mode of operation. So because this mode of operation switch out from one mode to another mode whenever it is having. So this is during normal operation, normal light load, whenever we are going for braking and deceleration, whenever it stop. So from the stop, it may go to once again mode 1. Okay, normal driving. Okay, normal acceleration. So this is how this is a maximum possible R4 nodes. In that I can able to get it. So these are all the letters we have used. B for battery, E for internal combustion engine, F for fuel tank, G for generator, M for motor, P for power converter or power modulators. And very dark line, okay, dark black line is used for electrical link. Very small line is used for hydraulic link. Double line is used for mechanical link. You can able to understand if the particular see here. Uh, See here, I am used a double line. That means here and motor and the transmission system is connected to the mechanical link. Okay, here also you just see that you can see that internal combustion engine and generator is connected by the mechanical linking. Okay, so but whereas if you see the line here, if it is connected in a hydraulic link. Okay, see the dark battery to power converters. We see all the dark line. Okay, that is represent the electrical line. Okay, electrical line. So we will see one by one mode. So series hybrid mode. So what is the mode 1? During the startup, normal driving or acceleration hybrid, both internal combustion engine and battery deliver electrical technology to power the converter, which then drives the electrical motor and hence wheels via transmission. In this case, first case, I have to engage both internal combustion engine as well as this one, and that is battery operated. So automatically what will happen here, fuel will be sending, fuel consumption will be there. So because of that, internal combustion engine will operate. Internal combustion engine will in turn will operate coupled with the generator that will produce the uh, okay, that will give. So from the battery also I will get the power which will be given into a power modulator. Then a summation of the power from battery and generator is available. That will be transmitted to the motor using a power modulator. Then it will give produce a starting torque, starting torque or acceleration. During acceleration, high power is needed. High power is needed. Okay, so this is what is happening at the starting or during normal driving or acceleration. Okay, so the same can be continued at light load. The IC output is greater than that required to drive the vehicle. Hence, the fraction of the generated electrical energy is used to charge the battery. The charging of the battery takes place till the battery capacity reaches its full. Okay, if you see that the direction at initially starting, the direction of the electricity is from battery to power modulator. So whenever it's a light load and continuously running at that time, whatever may be the fuel internal combustion engine is generated, that generated power is completely used to for the traction. Portion of the electrical power that is produced here, it is used to charge the battery. If you see that So during the normal operation, light load condition, so there will be some portion of power will be available because it is not high load, light load. So to that portion of power, electrical energy is produced, is to store. Remaining only used through power modulator to the motor that will be connected to the transmission. Okay, so transmission system it is giving. So first to certain beginning at starting, both battery and fuel tank will be supplying the energy. In the normal running, battery is getting charged. In addition to that, the some amount of power, remaining power, traction power will be completely produced by the fuel or internal combustion engine only, but using a generator. Okay. So third thing, whenever we are going for braking, whenever we are going for a braking operation, automatically what will happen? So there won't be any fuel is taken. If you see that there won't be any, it is connected, but no fuel is taken. So automatically here it is there is no any power transmission. That is internal combustion engine is not acting as a prime mover for generator. That operation stop. Instead, from the transmission link, okay, power flow in the reverse direction that is goes to the motor. Then motor is acting as a generator now through the power modulator. Huge amount of power, that is braking power or decelerating power is there, that will be stored in the battery, that will be stored in the battery. Okay, so everywhere it is connected, no power flow, which are all having arrows, there only the power flow occurs. If you see the braking mode or deceleration mode, so it is no power flow from fuel to internal combustion engine. Internal combustion engine it is not generating any power, then internal generator is not giving any electrical power to the power modulator. Only due to the deceleration, what will happen? Due to the moment of inertia, vehicle is continuously running. Okay, so automatically that has to be brake. So whenever that power is taken away from that system only, it will be braking. So we are in the process of taking our the power that is has to be then only it will be stopping. So I am just making that. So because of that, my motor is now acting as a generator. That generator is giving power to power modulator to mainly storing the braking power. So we already know a rough calculation. We can able to say 100 kilogram. The mass of the vehicle is 100 kilogram. So automatically, if a 100 kilogram vehicle, okay, which is running at 100 kilometer per hour, 100 kilometer per hour, running at 100 kilometer per hour. If it is braking, they suddenly decelerate, and we have to make ideal stopping. Okay, we have to make it to zero. We have to 0 kilometer per. If I am applying a braking, what will happen is around 0.16 kilowatt, 0.16 kilowatt hour of energy. Okay, that can be saved. That is nothing but 160 160 watt hour, 160 watt hour, 160 watt hour of energy can be stored. Okay, it acting as generator, it is producing, that can be stored in the battery. Okay, so now once again at the vehicle stops, vehicle stops. Okay, so vehicle at stop, what will happen? This will be energy will be, there won't be any power flow from motor to transmission system, because vehicle at stop there is no need. Okay, automatically there won't be any power flow from power modulator to motor, because vehicle is stop, no power is required in this region. But whereas it is continuously operating, it is only the amount of power that is produced by the generator is used to charge the battery. Vehicle at stop, it is only used to. So automatically this can be also, this vehicle at stop is not complete stop in home or wherever we are parking. It's an ideal that means it is stopped at some signals. So for further movement, vehicle in a on condition, but vehicle at stop stage. This is what happening. Completely the fuel is spent only to generate electricity. That electricity in turn to charge the battery. To charge the battery. This is what happening in the series hybrid electrical vehicle configuration power flow. Okay, so this is what four modes. Mode 1 A is nothing but normal and driving acceleration. Mode 2 at light load. Okay, this is what during that particular operation, what is happening. So out of total electricity is produced, only some 80 percentage of the electricity will be used for the traction purpose, that is for the propulsion purpose. Remaining will be used to charge the battery. But whereas in the mode 3, so my internal combustion engine will not operate, fuel will not be taken, my generator will not operate. Instead, so all the kinetic energy of the wheels, so whenever due to the kinetic energy, it will be still rotating, that will be taken to operate the particular motor as a generator. In turn, this generator is supplying through power modulator, it will be charging the battery. Okay. So this is what four modes for series hybrid operation. Okay. So next we are going to see parallel hybrid operation. If you see the parallel hybrid operation, there won't be any series hybrid means so through motor only we are running. Motor alone is the power propulsion unit. There is no any IC engine, series hybrid. Because series hybrid is having both individual series configuration advantages and individual, it is having some that is whenever we are going for a mild hybrid. Okay, the same thing if we want to realize in mild hybrid electrical vehicle configuration, we usually go for parallel hybrid. Okay, parallel hybrid configuration. When we want to realize, okay, in terms of mild hybrid electrical vehicle configuration, this is for absolutely for hybrid, exclusively maybe for the plug-in hybrid electrical vehicle and etc. We can able to relate. But when we want to go for mild hybrid electrical vehicle, from a few percentage of hybridization to up to 70 percentage of hybridization, we can use this type of parallel hybrid, where we are going to engage both the system. They will be connected commonly in the transmission. That is transmission system. This is what transmission system. I am going to engage, okay, internal combustion engine. This will be producing. This system also will be engaging. And second system, a battery operator. Okay, so battery operator power motor. This also will be giving the propulsion power. Propulsion power based on the total power requirement, how much power is produced by the system 2, that is electrical system, that is battery with a power modulated motor. This is called hybridization. Suppose out of the total traction power, only 30 percentage of the power is produced by the battery connected power modulator coupled motor is producing. This is called 30 percentage hybrid vehicle. 30 percentage hybrid vehicle. So this is called hybridization. How much is the hybridization? So in this case, whenever I am operating a parallel hybrid, it is very much important to have a power flow control. And there also we are having starting and normal driving, braking or deceleration, and a light load and a light load. Whenever a light load, we can able to see that. Okay, so this is what it's really happening. So if you see that at starting, as usual, as like a series, so both by fuel tank and battery has to supply the required amount of energy. Automatically here it is coupled to the internal combustion engine. Internal combustion engine also produce the required amount of propulsion power with a high amount of power required, because the starting torque is there. So we have to overcome the moment of inertia. The vehicle is in a stopped condition. Okay, so in order to overcome the momentum, after overcoming the moment of inertia only, the remaining power will be make the particular vehicle to move. Okay, so starting torque, very high starting torque needed. So I am engaging both internal combustion engine as well as motor. During the normal running, I am not taking any power from the battery motor. So during the normal driving, it is completely operated by the internal combustion engine. Internal combustion engine. When it's braking, my internal combustion engine will stop. It won't give any power. So automatically the kinetic energy, okay, that has to be taken completely, has to be depleted. Then only it will come to braking. So that is used to make my motor to acting as a generator. So the automatically reversible power flow happens. It will provide to the power modulator, and it is receiving the energy in a battery. Okay. So during the braking and deceleration, this is what happens. During the light load also, during the light load, what is happening is here it is completely the portion of the power. Okay, suppose it is producing some amount means 80% of the power is only for traction. Remaining 20%, since it is connected to a common transmission link, okay, so my motor is acting as a generator. It is keep on charging the battery. It is keep on charging the battery. So during the normal driving mode, this will be ideal. I am not using my electrical system only because during the normal running, only to the running power. Okay, so to maintain the running only is needed. That will be maintained. Okay, but whereas during the light load, during the light load, so apart from the produced power, okay, some 80% only may be needed for this load. Remaining 20% or 10% available means that will be exclusively used for charging my battery. This is what happening in the parallel hybrid configuration. Okay, so this is what happening. Series parallel hybrid configuration is a little. It is having a two different possibilities. One is internal combustion engine may dominate because
Sir,
yes,
sir, and parallel.
uh,
I,
yes,
sir, you said in the light load, it will transfer the other load to electrical energy.
yes,
So
light.
it will detect that this much power is wasted like that. How it will change that power?
Simply what they will do is they will change the power modulator. No, here. So during the light load condition, so automatically, so what is the amount of power that is transmission power needed? That will know. Okay, so because in addition to that, they will have a energy monitoring system also. That and all, for simplicity, it is not shown. Okay, energy monitoring system is there. So that will already having feeded with how much is the power can be generated by the internal combustion engine. Say for example, this is capable of producing 40 HP. Okay, 40 HP for assumption, 40 horsepower means. So the amount of power now required to run because the weight of the vehicle now they will accelerate. No, so in that itself they will know. Energy management system will identify how much load is there. Actually, physically by visualization, it is not measuring how much is the starting power, how much is the normal light load condition it is running. No, if more than 40 HP power required means this energy management system has to engage this also. Okay, like startup and high load, startup and high load. So if not so, automatically what will happen? So my power modulator firing angle will be kept more than that is 0 to 90 degree. So automatically here what will happen? This is coupled to a common coupling. No, this is also rotating. So here this 40 HP engine is providing this rotational power is converted to traction. The remaining power flow can happen this way direction, this direction. Okay.
Yes,
When
sir.
heavily loaded, even my required power is 50 HP. If 50 HP means what will happen? So my energy management system cannot move the vehicle with the power that is provided by the internal combustion engine alone. At that time, what will happen? This will be in the reverse direction. Battery also will giving. So what is happening? Identified at the start. When they are starting, they are engaging both the things. Okay, after normal running also, the power required from both system means so energy management system will engage both. This will continue heavy load condition. What is startup? That will be continuing in the normal operation also for heavy load. Okay, because normal driving is not possible. I cannot cut down these things and kept ideal. Okay, I need power from this. So automatically this will happen. Only one will continue. Okay, and it will be like as a two between these two mode only is possible when heavy load, startup and heavy load, braking and deceleration. Then whenever it stopped, startup and heavy load, braking. So between mode 2A and 3 only the operation will be limited. Okay. So during normal light load only, this all the four modes is possible. Okay, so my energy management system will identify this power is not sufficient only for startup. After startup, if it's discontinued, means what will happen? Vehicle will decelerate. So immediately this will engage. Then identify that yes, for startup alone is not enough because of high load. It has to be continuously give. So it will be keep on providing. It will be keep on providing. What will happen? My battery will be keep on discharge. My battery will be keep on discharge. Maybe after certain interval, I have to charge the battery. I have to charge the battery. If it is a lightly loaded, automatically my battery will be charged. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So these two operations we have seen. So the third operation is somewhat difficult because I am engaging the advantage of series configuration and advantage of parallel configuration. In this another one difficulty is also coming. In this series parallel configuration, I may have my IC engine may be a dominant playing role, or I may have my electrical motor may be dominantly playing. So for these things, I have to design a strategies for these things. So after knowing the power of my internal combustion engine, after knowing the power of motor, and after knowing the total traction power required, I can able to design series parallel configuration of hybrid electrical in such a way that my internal combustion engine may be dominating role, or if I'm having more rating of motor, my motor may having a dominating role. So for these two different in the series parallel itself, I may have come across two different method. So for two different method, I have to form two different modes of operation also. That we will see tomorrow. Okay, with this stopping.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, another thing is what is power density factor, sir? Power density factor.
In battery,
Yes, sir. In battery only, sir.
so
Means,
other power density,
I don't know what.
power density factor is nothing but so for each discharge, each discharge. So now I'm having a energy density. So next cycle I'm having a energy density. Okay, so that has to be maintained as a unity, always constant.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so
How much power is discharging? It should be constant. That's the
uh,
power. Yes.
power density. So how much power is discharged? Now I am charging. So the
Yes, sir.
same amount of power charges should be available for next cycle also. So that is called power density factor.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Is there any another other clarification? Okay, all of you unmute your mic, answer attendance. I think how many of you present? I think 22%. Magrov,
Present, sir.
Vasant Kumar,
Sir,
Amala Besto.
sir, Amala Plus is having some login issues, sir. We couldn't be able to attend any other classes, sir.
I couldn't attend any class,
Sir, for past 2 days, sir, we having this problem, sir.
Okay, okay. But anyhow, now he's not present. Now we will see that. Okay.
Sir, informed in the group, sir. WhatsApp group. Please check.
Okay, okay. Tamil Selvan,
Present, sir.
Jagannathan. Kevin Raj. Balachandar.
Present, sir.
Prem.
Sir, present, sir.
Steve Thompson. Steve Thompson. Absent. Okay. Venu Aravind.
Present, sir.
Vignesh. Or Vignesh. Vijay. P. Vijay. Yashwant.
Present, sir.
Vikram Selva Ganesh. Present. Abhishek Ramesh.
Present, sir.
Anas Mohammed.
Present, sir.
Tejas.
Present, sir.
Vijit Vijay.
Present, sir.
Gogul.
Present, sir.
Dorivaldo. Dorivaldo is there. You are in the meeting but not answering. Okay, Alex.
Present, sir.
Gautam.
Present, sir.
Jai Josephine.
Present, sir.
Kevin Smith.
Yes, sir.
Lokesh Babu.
Present, sir.
Pradap. He mentioned. Okay.
Sir, he
Pradyush.
messaged.
Okay. Pradyush.
Present, sir.
Vishal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Absentees are Jagannathan, Kevin Raj, Steve Thompson, Vignesh, Vijay. Okay.